Can we beat Tree Stump on Chimps using just Obyn and 3 Druids? For an extra challenge, we can only build on the Tree Stump itself, because we are one with nature today. And of course, it's going to be the starting point, which is going to be the worst part of this entire challenge. Put you on strong, possibly? Can you get through the rounds? I think that should be it. Good. Sometimes the firing is a little bit off. Oh no, that's gonna have to be that's annoying, isn't it? Can we snipe it? Or couldn't snipe it? Go back to strong again? Question mark. I need to snipe this red balloon. Please, one of you lucky fawns hit it, please. Damn it. Last, that's the trick there, going on last. Can we get through the rest of this, please? Yes, finally we can place down Obyn. Pretty difficult to see if Obyn is actually on the tree somewhere, that is the thing. There we go. Spirit of the forest has been awoken, and along with it, Alolan Vulpix. Zeus represents the Superstorm. Gaia represents Spirit of the Forest, and Hades represents the Avatar of Wrath. But we go middle, top, then bottom when it comes to the tier 5 build order. This is going to be our Superstorm Druid. This is going to be our Avatar of Wrath Druid, and this one's going to be our Spirit of the Forest Druid, because it won't matter where, because of the fact that, well, the thorns that grow on the ground will be impactful whatsoever. So regardless of where they are on the track, apologies for my grammar there, but with the Superstorm and Avatar of Wrath, it's kind of important to know whereabouts on the track. It's going to be very important to have specific towers. So for this, need it at the front of the map, but also this little middle point here, then the end point, and then Superstorm, obviously, for catching any potential DETs that may go towards the exit of the map, and also Obyn at the exit of the map here, because of the fact that, well, we need to put some trees here in order for the Moabs to be able to escape in case if they do make it all the way up there. Hard thorns, and then alongside that, Populus to be able to increase the speed and pierce of the other druids. Kind of like Obyn when he goes to level 8, giving all druids in range camo detection. Doesn't apply it to himself, which is rather selfless. It's a selfless, noble thing to do. It's a rather naturistic thing to do as well. Provide something for others to benefit from, not yourself. Now, the next few rounds are going to be very, very important here. So, wherever we're going to place our bramble stands better be in a good spot here. And that's not a good spot. Take 2. Nope. Take 3. That's not good as well. Take 4. No, will you stop spawning around there? Let's try and hold them off by using Druid of the Jungle, because this is honestly really annoying now. I need 2 sets of brambles around 33. But yet, this game is honestly against me with their placements. Okay, so let's place down a second one with, brambles can pop 100 balloons. In these early stages, it wouldn't be able to do that. Okay, round 35. Thank you! Thank you for spawning somewhere else for once. This is where I needed you, away from the front of the track. Like, sorry for I'm being like that, but honestly, that is super annoying. That's I can deal with that one, honestly. But the next one now is this round. Actually, I need the brambles to behave. Yeah, that's a good spot. That's an excellent spot. Thank you, Obyn, for once for behaving. Now my camo issues are done and dealt with. Okay, so hopefully these brambles will not go away automatically. There we go. Next time we face off camos, Obyn should be at level 8. Let's go to 39. Yeah, Druid of the Storm is going to be very important here, just in case the mob gets this far along the track here. Let's get the brambles out. That's brilliant, actually, soaking up some of that Moab HP. So yeah, we're definitely past the most difficult segment of the game now, which is enabling brambles to be our only source of camo popping potential. But now Obyn, thanks to update 43 and enabling him to be able to give druids within his range camo detection, we no longer need to worry about this said issue. Because of how unlucky I was on round 32 with the bramble placements, I honestly feel like that the placement of the brambles themselves are not that random. Like, it probably is in accordance to like where the balloons are, or where Obyn thinks the brambles are served best for that particular scenario. But I just felt like I was so unlucky because the brambles only ever spawned around this area by this fallen tree here, or this fallen log, however you want to call it. Also, tree stump, because is a tree. There's a druid which is most in tune with trees, jungle's bounty. I wonder if we ever go up to the Spirit of the Forest, the super ultra Easter egg of this map will activate, meaning that this tree will actually be a tree. Moab class balloon, go away. There is a video that Ethan Reed has done where it's like druids finally have camera detection, and I'm like, I do get where he's coming from, because out of all the non-druid tower slash heroes in the game, Obyn is the closest to being a druid-esque kind of tower slash hero without actually being a druid. So I don't think that is entirely false to be able to put a video out there saying that druids by themselves finally have camo detection of some kind. Like, I don't think that is false advertising or being false to the aim of the video itself. I think Ethan had every right in order to title this video like that. But I do see where people are coming from, because it technically is not a druid being Obyn, but at the same time there's a lot of synergy between Obyn and druids that you understand that. And also for the sheer fact that Etienne and druids have always been like a hero druids combo, which have worked out because ironically at the same level, Etienne provides the entire map with a UAV which grants camera detection. Oh, these could be very interesting. I don't think they're gonna reach. Let's see now. Absorb them. Excellent. Good old tree absorbing that. And also money as well. Yeah, this tree can absorb Moab class balloons rather than just little ones like ceramics and blue. Although we do have to contest with fortified Moab, so that's going to be very interesting. Brambles for the fortified Moab, please. I think he did spawn behind the tree stump though. Let's see, that goes down, and yeah, this round's going to be no issues whatsoever. Also, our first tier 5 is going to be Spirit of the Forest, because Spirit of the Forest covers the entire track with thorns, which enables us to be able to have a global means of attack. Speaking of which, we should be able to have it soon, very soon. These are our last obstacles before we can prevail. There we go, spawn a fresh one up there, and now we'll be able to have the Spirit of the Forest in the palm of our hands. They cannot escape now from damage. Deploy down a fresh tree to get the money that we absorbed pre-Spirit of the Forest, because we should, in theory, not have any more balloons going to come up here. But this is here mainly for a safeguard against anything that is not a DDT, because it's got the camera status, and the bad because, well, bads are kind of thick, let's just say that. Increased attack speed and magic monkeys cooldowns by 5%. Actually, this first part is not with magic monkeys in general, but I think we've got all the buffs now for druids in which we can possibly get. But again, there's also improved Wrath. All Druid of Wrath pops start each round at 200. Yeah. There's also an inherent buff with Nature's Ward, because it's now 60% for it's a lower percentage with lower class balloons. Now, for anybody who is a fan of Pokemon, but more specifically the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, have you ever played that? Like, if you're not interested in that game, then that's perfectly fine. But I just want to share something that I've played for hours on end when I was much younger. Especially Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky. Now, I believe that that game is my favorite Pokemon game of all time. It beats out any of the mainline games. It has, unlike the mainline games, a story in which you can cry emotionally. And it just has such good and also chaotic gameplay. It's like, in the next Pokemon Direct, just have the time gear on like a trader or something. You don't even need to show like gameplay. Just put the time gear as like a teaser towards it. And then probably a little bit of gameplay to add from there. And people would buy that game if you're a fan of it. I myself will be like, I don't care how much money it costs, just put a sum down and I will pay for it. Because I loved that game. I love the side stories. I love the chaotic gameplay of Mystery Dungeon. Like, just having the random nature of just going to a new floor and possibly knowing that you spawn right into a monster house. Specifically monster houses in temple towers with either Porygon 2 or Porygon Z using agility and then spamming discharge. That was so chaotic, but I had so many retries when I first played that game. And then when I did multiple playthroughs of the game, I became much better at the game because the predictability was a little bit more predictable because I knew what was going on with the game itself. I knew what to expect at that point. But also the other Mystery Dungeon games, like, I feel like if you could ever put together the perfect kind of Mystery Dungeon game, I would have the farming mechanics of Gates to Affinity, the amount of Pokemon, and also the quest kind of format of Super Mystery Dungeon, which is the latest one that is in Kalos. I would have the I don't know what I would grab from the first game, which is already one that's been remastered. Probably like the kind of like the recruiting process of the original game, but then I'll just have like the structure and the story layout of Explorers of Sky. Like, that to me would be the perfect kind of game, because Gates to Affinity was a bit too easy if you've ever played that game. It felt like a very dumbed down version, a very non-chaotic version. It felt like everything was really easy. You didn't even need to do that much like grinding in order to be able to get through the game. Probably aside from the final boss itself, which was just some stupid like flower rather than something like Primal Dialga, which was, in my perspective, a much better final boss. And then from there, like, I would probably say, like, don't change the chaotic nature. Probably fix up bugs if there are any present, but don't ever change like the chaotic nature of the game. Like, it's hard, yes, in certain cases, but that's part of the charm. Having that chaos in place, having that unpredictability there, whether or not you're gonna spawn into a monster dungeon or trying to steal an item from Keklion's shop and thinking that you might be able to make it to the exit, but nah. Unless you have, like, what is it, the Trowel Orb item, which enables to draw all items from the floor towards your current location, including shop items. Also, by the way, we can now afford Super Storm, which I would believe is the second tier 5 you should get. Avatar of Wrath you can hold out on, because we're going to be getting that on round 99 anyways. But I just love Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm not a huge dungeon crawler game. Like, that's probably like the only dungeon crawler game I've ever played, to be honest, in my entire life. But it's probably the only one in which I would probably need to experience. But let me know if you think that you share the same opinions to me as to, like, you think the Mystery Dungeon games are better than the mainline games. or if this is a conversation that is boring you to death, then I do apologize. Like, I hope that people, even if they're not interested in the game, just have a listen to one of my stories in which I do within these videos, because of the sheer fact that sometimes I do love to talk my head off, honestly. Like, I feel like that is a very organic thing to do as a person, just to speak out rather than refer to a script every single time, where it's like superstorms. What they do, they blast balloons away. Anything that's not a bad, they blow them back to the beginning. Avatar of Wrath, that's going to help with the bad. Spirit of the Forest, that's going to help with everything else, because it can. Also, somebody in one of my previous, like, covering the Avatar of Wrath, they must have found like an alchemist or an MIB with their with the Avatar of Wrath with Thornswarm, because with Thornswarm, if you go with Avatar of Wrath with Thornswarm, it cannot by default pop lead balloons. You need either an alchemist for your sharp to go to normal in a way, and then from there, like, in theory, obviously, the Thornswarm is better than Hard Thorns and Heart of Thunder. But if you don't have any, like, outside buffs, outside of, like, I don't know what you call it now, MIB, then not having buffs, you need to have Hard Thorns in order to pop DDTs, because it's by default a sharp attack, not a attack which can pop any kind of balloon. And that's also why with Spirit of the Forest, you always, without any kind of external buffs going on which changes its damage type, you always want Hard Thorns, so that the thorns on the ground can also pop lead balloons. And obviously with Superstorm, you obviously go with Hard Thorns anyways, because you need to get to Superstorm anyways. And also in this case, we go with Heart of Vengeance, because number 1, increased range. Number 2, gains 10% attack speed. And number 3, Heart of Oak already kind of gotten. Also, these two fortified ZMGs are a bit of a bore. Who would hold ZMGs for longer? Superstorm or the top path bomb tower with the balloon crush? Our battle will be legendary for who can hold the ZMGs for longest. Let's see, they are finally going down here. Yeah, I always think Spirit of the Forest is the first druid you'd always go towards, because then your mid game is just set until you get to DDT territory. Round 98 going very well here. Anytime a Murklos balloon looks like it's about to escape. Nah, there's no escape for you. Wall of Tree can hold many more, and also we can now have the Avatar of Wrath, which is for the love of nature, for the Quadrilogy of nature. Take this bad down, and you shall go down through the Avatar of Wrath. The Wrath will destroy the bad, and the rest will doom the innards of the bad. So there, folks, that is what we call a Quadrilogy of nature. We have the 3 tier 5 druid towers, and then we have the big man Obyn himself, in order to provide camo detection for our druids. Excellent. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been a pretty similar video that I did a while ago, where I did like the axes of nature with a submergence support, just so that the camo balloons can be decamofied. But with this case, we don't really need that. Share, please. So thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what other kind of videos you'd like to see me do in the future. And no, I did not make this video just because of the fact that Ethan Reed made a video recently covering druids and camo detection. I already made a video on it was on Monkey Meadow actually, and I used more than 3 druids, but in this case we did the Quadrilogy. Thank you all so much for watching, everyone. If you do not like, comment and subscribe to the channel, the next time you face off against Vortex in a boss scenario, you're going to be having a 1000% HP and 500% boss HP Vortex. Do you want that? No. Then you please better press that subscribe button. Unless, of course, you really want that and therefore you're, I don't know, you've lost your mind or you just want the challenge. I think mainly it's you want the challenge. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, everybody.